I ask unanimous consent to enter for the record. One of our colleagues had asked if there was evidence if the so-called Maryland man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, was MS-13. According to the Attorney General of the United States, she posted that the evidence shows Kilmar Abrego Garcia has repeatedly been identified as a member of MS-13 by a Maryland County Police Gang unit, which I introduced for the record, a reliable confidential informant, ICE officers, an immigration judge agreed, and an appellate board agreed.
Without
So you have, is that a court order?
Objection.
Well, I object.
No, she can put anything she wants in the record. She's not complying to your request, Mr. Goldman.
She asked for unanimous consent.
Okay, so you're objecting to her putting that into the record?
I am objecting subject to a clarification. Is that a court order that establishes that he's a member of MS-13?
An immigration judge agreed that he was MS-13.
For bail
purposes. An appellate board agreed.
Don't misrepresent.
Hold on,
A judge.
Hey, Patriots. Welcome back to Freedom Forge, where we say what the mainstream media won't, call out the politicians who fail us, and stand up for America, loud and proud. If you're tired of political games and want the truth, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a dose of common sense. Today, I'm reacting to one of the most telling moments I've seen in Congress. A House Oversight Committee hearing where Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene tried to expose the truth about violent gangs like MS-13 in our communities. But what happened? The left tried to shut her down, twist the process, and muddy the waters, all to avoid confronting the harsh reality of open borders and their consequences. Let's break it down.
Everybody pause. We're going to let one person talk at a time. You ask a question. Answer the question, please.
According to the Attorney General of the United States, she informed the country that an immigration judge agreed that your Maryland man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, is MS-13. An appellate board agreed. ICE officers
are misstating
agreed.
what the
A reliable
Mr. Goldman,
informant.
the clock is not yours right now. She has the floor. Please continue answering the question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A Maryland County
She's not answering the question, sir.
No, she's going to answer the question, and then you can object
Can
to
you
her answer.
make sure that she answers the question?
Finish answer. You just said, please finish your answer.
A Maryland County Police Gang unit agreed that he's MS-13. A reliable confidential informant agreed that he's MS-13. ICE officers agreed that he's MS-13. An immigration judge agreed that he's MS-13. An appellate board agreed that Kilmar Abrego Garcia, your Maryland man, is MS-13.
Okay.
I
You have
object.
the floor. What do you want to say?
I object because she is misstating the record and the facts. That is not accurate, and therefore I object to that being introduced. There is no.
Mr.
Sir,
Chairman?
can I explain? You let her go on.
Go ahead.
There is no final court order establishing that he's a member. Maybe he is. So you should put all that evidence before a judge, and if he is MS-13, he should be deported. That's what we're talking about, but you're misstating what all of that evidence is.
No, I think I'm going to make a point here. You basically just read what the Attorney General said, correct?
Yes, sir.
You didn't assert that this was a court order, did you? Did you assert that this was a court order?
I read the Attorney General of the United States.
And you have a right on our committee to submit for unanimous consent or a vote if we want to put it to a vote. This for the record, correct? Is that it?
Yes.
That is correct. Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
she has a right.
Can I review what she is submitting?
No, she can submit something to this committee.
But it matters that she just said she represented exactly what the Attorney General said. She has a document there. I would like to see that document.
Let's make a copy for
see if her
everybody,
representation-
and we'll vote on. I'm going to hold on just a second. We're going to hold. You're calling for the question? We're calling for the question. The clerk, we're going to need to set. Hold on just a second. Brief recess.
Please, let's get this on the historical record.
This is great.
We voted for
All right, there's
Mr. Higgins, I'm just asking to see the document.
I have the floor. All right, so we have a motion to vote on the submission of this for the record. That's all that has been stated. And
have a parliamentary inquiry, sir.
Do not interrupt me again. We are on the vote on whether or not this can be entered into the record. A motion has been made, and we will vote on that motion. All of those in
I
favor.
have a parliamentary inquiry before we vote, sir.
Mr. Ranking Member.
It's our request that we object. And in the middle of the objection, you consider a motion, which...
He was done talking about Ms.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. You stopped him from talking.
I just have a parliamentary inquiry.
A parliamentary inquiry. Okay, go ahead. You have the floor.
Is it the procedure of this committee that someone who is making an objection to the admission of evidence cannot review that evidence before we vote on it?
Yeah, the content is irrelevant to the motion, and the motion has been made to vote on the submission for the record.
The content is irrelevant? I mean, that's what I'm objecting to. If she is accurate in what her representation is, I will withdraw my objection. I just need to see the document.
Somebody walk the thing over there and let him read it. I mean, get to the bottom of this quickly. We'll hold on your vote, Mr. Ogles.
Mr. Chairman, given that this is a tweet from the Attorney General that is effectively, I believe, consistent with what Ms. Taylor Greene says, I withdraw my objection.
Gentleman withdraws his objection. I now recognize...
So here's what went down. Congresswoman Greene asked unanimous consent to put evidence into the record that a so-called Maryland man named Kilmargo Garcia was a confirmed member of MS-13. She wasn't just making this up. Folks, she cited the Attorney General of the United States. According to her, Garcia was identified as MS-13 by a Maryland County Police gang unit, a confidential informant, ICE officers, an immigration judge, and even an appellate board. That's a wall of law enforcement and legal authorities all saying the same thing. If that isn't overwhelming evidence, I don't know what is. But what happens next? Democrat Representative Goldman immediately objects, not because the evidence is fake, not because it's irrelevant, but because there isn't a final court order. Seriously? Since when do we need a full jury trial to acknowledge gang membership in a hearing? This wasn't a criminal trial. It's a congressional inquiry, and the public deserves to know the facts. Let's be real. The left's obsession with process is just a smokescreen to avoid uncomfortable truths. They're more concerned about the paperwork than the safety of our families. If law enforcement, ICE, and judges all say Garcia is MS-13, that should be enough to ring alarm bells. But the left would rather tie themselves in knots than admit there's a problem with violent gangs crossing our borders. And then what a circus. The hearing devolves into constant interruptions, objections, and parliamentary inquiries. Instead of focusing on the safety of Americans, we get politicians bickering about procedure and who gets to talk. The chairman had to call a recess just to get everyone to calm down. Let me ask you, who benefits from this chaos? Certainly not law-abiding citizens. While politicians play games, Americans are left vulnerable to criminals who exploit our broken immigration system. It's a disgrace. After all the drama, the truth finally comes out. Goldman reviews the evidence, a tweet from the Attorney General herself, and admits it's consistent with what Greene said. He backs down, the document goes into the record, and we move forward. But here's the real takeaway. If Greene hadn't fought tooth and nail, this evidence would have been buried. The left would have swept it under the rug, and you and I would be left in the dark about the dangers lurking in our own backyard. Here's what I really think as a proud American. This is why we need fighters like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Byron Donalds in Congress. People who won't back down, who demand accountability, and who put American safety first. The left says we're fear-mongering. I say we're telling the truth. MS-13 is real. Violent crime from illegal immigrants is real. And every time the left tries to block the facts, they're putting political correctness above your safety. Let's stop protecting criminals. Let's end sanctuary madness. Let's secure the border, support our police, and put America first. Not violent gangs, not illegal aliens, not the feelings of politicians who care more about process than people. If you agree, hit that like button, share this video, and let your voice be heard in the comments. Should Congress take gang violence and illegal immigration more seriously? Should politicians be held accountable for playing games while Americans get hurt? Subscribe to Freedom Forge for more real talk and in-depth reactions the media won't show you. Stay strong, stay vigilant, and God bless America, because we're not done fighting for our country.